Good evening. It is Monday around 10 o'clock at night, and I'm meteorologist Francis Payton from 13 News Now with your Tropics update. Here we have two systems on the board. We have Hurricane Franklin, really well organized storm in the Atlantic, but I'm most concerned about the threat from Idalia. Currently in the Caribbean, starting to break way into the Gulf of Mexico, and it's going to take advantage of those warmer waters and looks to rapidly strengthen within the next 24 hours. Right now, what we're watching in terms of warnings and watches issued across the area, we do have hurricane warnings in effect for the western portion of Cuba and a tropical storm warning still in effect for the Yucatan Peninsula. But right now, all eyes are on Florida, as we're likely going to see this quickly strengthen to become even potentially a major hurricane. So what we have here, we have a hurricane warning issued in peak for the Big Bend area of Florida, and that's going to actually, those warnings are going to extend just a little south of the Tampa Bay region. Behind those hurricane warnings, we do have tropical storm warning issued for Central Florida, and behind that, a tropical storm watch pretty much encompassing the northeastern coast of Florida, and that's going to actually extend up into South Carolina. So this system, although right now it is a tropical storm, it is pretty expansive and will cover a lot of ground. Not only are we concerned about the winds, especially the heavy rainfall, but likely seeing some issues with storm surge. What we're going to see is life-threatening inundation. And when we're talking about storm surge, basically that strong onshore breeze causing that inland flooding. We're seeing areas that could likely deal with storm surge greater than 9 feet near Horseshoe Beach, extending down into Spring Hill. So that's going to be another one of those life-threatening threats with this right now tropical storm Idalia as of 8 o'clock. Putting some spaghetti plot models, of course, they're all going to be in agreement with what's going to occur within the next about 24 hours. Watching that start to curve inland and move in a northeasterly fashion. As it enters in the Gulf, again, we are going to see the system take advantage of those warmer waters, and it will strengthen rapidly. In addition to that, it'll start to pick up some speed. This has been a very slow-moving storm since the beginning, and it's pretty much settled throughout the Caribbean and really impacting the Yucatan Peninsula and Cuba for the past couple of days. So we really haven't seen too much movement, but as it again enters in the Gulf, we'll start to see this pick up some steam. Now, a lot of agreement that is going to hang on and hug the southeastern coastline and looks to exit the United States closer towards the Outer Banks region, which will have an impact on us here at home. But just putting a cone with this, what we have, this strengthening likely to be a major hurricane by Wednesday before it does make landfall. Likely actually still maintaining that hurricane strength into Wednesday afternoon, even as it starts to enter in Georgia. Could likely hang on to that hurricane status. Really don't see it weakening too much as we're going to see wind speeds near 60 miles per hour. That's still a decently strong tropical storm. And we're going to hang on to that strength as it looks to leave us in North Carolina. Now, I mentioned about how large this storm is. It's not going to stay within this cone. Areas outside this cone should expect to deal with heavy rainfall and as well as some strong winds. As far as what we should expect for here at home in Hampton Roads, I expect all of us to be dealing with tropical storm strength winds. I expect to deal with flooding, heavy rainfall across the region, potentially even some coastal flooding associated with that behind this system. In addition to that, I'm looking at Friday, I'm looking at Saturday, and I'm thinking rip currents are going to be a risk, as well as some dangerous waves along the coastline. So we're going to continue to monitor that impact for us here at home. That's what we can expect, again, pretty much from early Thursday through your Friday. Just actually showing you and comparing you our most popular models, the American and the European, the GFS or the Euro. What I really like is that we have a really well organized storm in the Atlantic to compare Idalia to. Look how tight this circular motion, or pretty much where you see these isobars are. Very tight. That's representing a strong storm. We actually see this start to become a bit more organized, and seeing those isobars become more intense right before it does make landfall, and then starts to widen out. You can see the storm start to weaken as it moves over land. So that's what I really appreciate about that. Now, speaking of Franklin, Let's get right into it. I mentioned it's a really well organized storm. It's actually a major hurricane at a Category 4 strength. Now, what we can expect for us here at home will be, again, the strong rip current risk throughout this week, also dangerous waves. As for our friends in Bermuda, likely dealing with some strong winds and heavy rainfall from this Category 4 strength hurricane. Beyond that, we're just going to see Franklin continue to travel northward into the cooler waters of the Atlantic Ocean before it starts to weaken as we get into the weekend. But for right now, here at home, we're going to continue to keep a close eye on Idalia. Stay with 13 News Now.